Race to 9. Yeah. Race to what?
Let's go race this 7. Me and Rick versus T and Cappola. Race 7.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. All right, guys. So we got Joe Dardzinski and Rick Hovey, he'll tell me how to say it later, versus Nick Cappola and T. Tham. This is a race to 7, 1 set. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how these guys play Scotch doubles. Nick to break. Broke dry with or did he break dry? He did not break dry. Nice position on the 2. Yeah, it looks like the 8 was made on the break. Nice job just using regular center to have that cue ball travel to the left for position on the 3. Pretty straightforward setups here. A little bit of a weird angle on the 5. T's going to have to try to do something to get closer to that 6. He uses heavy bottom right spin to have that cue ball come back up. Great setup. And good job by Nick sinking the 9 ball, making it 1-0. Nick and T versus Rick and Joe. Race to 7. Good job by Nick pocketing that one ball into the left side pocket. Let's see if T's going to go for the combo or just the straight in shot here. He went for the straight in shot, but surprisingly, he did miss it. Seems like the reason why he missed was because of that extra topspin to try to bring that cue ball back up for the 3 side. He did get a fortunate roll though. And Rick misses the kick shot on the 2, surprisingly. With how Nick and T are shooting, they should be out from here as long as the 7 is clear for the far left corner. Great power control by Nick. T should be able to just slow roll the 5 in and hold position for the 6. Instead, he decides to hit the bottom rail and come back up. Great positioning by Nick. From my angle, it looks like it may just barely go. Let's see. Nice shot. With a nice angle to come back for the 9 as well. Man, Nick is on point today. Great shot. Needed the entire pocket for that one. Looking a little wobbly. T just looked back over here and chuckled. It is now 2-0. T and Nick. Nick consistently sinking the 1 ball. Let's see what T's able to do about the 2. So he does leave Joe with an open shot on the 2, but it's nothing easy. He may decide to try to squeeze that into the left corner here. Instead, I believe he tried to use the 7 and 8 as blockers and send the 2 to the other end of the table, but wasn't quite able to do so. It's a big pocket with the 3. It's a big pocket. Nice shot by Nick. Not too sure what kind of safety T was going for there, but does look like the 7 is blocking the right side of the 3. And Rick sells out the 3 here. Wow. The 3 is sitting in the left side pocket. Another nice setup by Nick. T really needs to lean over here to reach that 4. Wasn't quite able to draw all the way back for the 5. Looks like he was going to hit the 6 anyways and be left with a tough shot regardless. Almost. Let's see if Joe and Rick is able to capitalize on their first decent easy shot. Nice. Good lead for the 6. Rick is going to have to come, let's see, down and back up, preferably to the right side of the 7. Let's see if he's able to do it. Good effort. Joe tried to play that 7 into the left corner with pocket speed to try and hold position for the 8 corner. He was unable to do so. Great positioning play by T. Nick could have easily held position for the 9 to the far right corner, but instead he decides to style on them a little bit, making position for the right side pocket. And that makes it 3-0. Nick and T. I'll be right back with the commentary.
Hey, this is my buddy Eric. I don't know if you ever met him. Eric Fuchs. Great golfer and APA 7. Sweet. What are you been up to?
Just tell me about this?
Yeah.
That's awesome. How long? Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Talking while they play.
Yeah. I was telling him I looked at the website and I was like, this is a real website. There's no way Jeremiah did this. This is really nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You saw the private lessons section?
Yeah, that whole thing, even the stuff about T doing homework, and I was like, that's why I said to you, I go, what's going on over there?
Yeah, because those two would never be here.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who would it?
T and
Yeah, Nick.
Oh, really?
I've literally never seen that.
nobody comes over here because of Jeremiah. Like I said, there's only B players. You only get league players over here.
Yeah.
And then you get like Rick and Kurt.
That's it, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Great.
You gonna play anything today?
Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit. If they get done doing their match or whatever, me and him will stream a match.
Yeah, it's only race to 7. So
Okay.
they'll be done soon.
Yeah, well, we usually do. I spot him 4 or 5 games in a race 9 for $20, so we can do something like that,
Cool.
or play the full 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's a diamond now, so I might have to give you one last game. Because at my house it's super tight pockets. So.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what I was thinking, and I don't know, this was because that table's out in the middle. It'd be cool if you move that table back there, and then you could have like seating there to watch matches on that back wall. Like put a gym bleacher like right there, put the table right there. Then you could even pull down the thing, and then you could have the live stream of the table on that thing live. So you know how put a 9-footer over there, make that like a stadium seating kind of table.
I was thinking about doing something.
Because that way you can run your camera and shit over there, and then you could commentate from over here too. You could still see the table from right here if you needed to, and you'd definitely be out of the way for.
Because I do plan on bringing in like high-profile players, so it would be nice to find some.
Yeah, and like I said, you could pull down that thing. You could have the table right there. Or like you know how they do at pro arenas, like they can look up at the screen and it's easier to see the kicking angles and stuff. That'd be
Five,
cool.
okay.
Fucking badass, dude. Big league over there. It just came to me today, and I was like, holy fuck, he's got a shit ton of room over there. He could definitely do something. I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I can help you build anything I got. Like every tool you ever need. Like literally like free of every tool in my
I
garage.
have
Yeah, they fucking cool. I like helping out and making cool work.
Let me talk about this, and then we'll talk more after.
Yeah, sounds good. Let us know if you need somebody to fill in on the street.
All right, so I'm back with the commentary, and it looks like Nick somehow got ball in hand on the 8, and it should be another quick game for them, making it 4-0. Nick and T leading. Nick finally coming to the table without a textbook break, scratching the cue ball in the left side pocket. Rick has ball in hand. Should have no problem setting up for the 2 ball here with a little bit of top spin. And he scratches in the right side pocket. Very surprising. Nick and T having some good results early on. Nick should be able to draw this back to the right side of the table to shoot the 4 into the left corner here. A little too far, but looks like he was just able to see the 4. Nice shot. And T scratches in the left side pocket here. The ball is back in Joe and Rick's corner. Let's see if they can run out from here. They really need to run this out to get back in the set. Joe with another tough setup for Rick on the 5. Rick attempted to leave the cue ball behind the 6, it seems, but that didn't quite work out. Nick's been shooting extremely well. Let's see if he's able to pocket this. Not really close. And Joe and Rick are left with a really nice position here. Nice job by Joe, stroking all the way through that to get position for the 6 side pocket. Although I do believe he was possibly aiming for the 6 to the far left corner, but that works out extremely well. Nice positioning by Rick to get that cue ball back so Joe can shoot the 9 into the side pocket. And that is the first game they have on the board. Nick and T still leading 4-1 against Rick and Joe in a race to 7. Rick pockets the 6 into the right side pocket. And Joe has a nice shot on the 1 ball. Did the can't tell if he was trying to actually pocket the 1 into the corner or play safe, but either way it's looking fine. Good job by T knocking the 9 ball out of a potential combo shot with the 1-9. Taking that scratch and hoping that the other team does not run out. I mean, you could ask Sean, I didn't see anything. Nick misses the 3 ball into the far left corner, but he luckily leaves Joe with an awkward cut on the 3 and even more difficult to maintain position for the 4. Let's see what he's able to come up with while using the bridge. Great job using the 7 ball to slow down the roll of the cue ball. Rick misses the cut on the 4. T should be able to make position for the 5 ball here. Very nice. Perfect speed. Nick may choose to go down and back up for the 7 corner. And a regular center shot can be used just to hold position for the 8 ball side pocket. Wow. Very surprising that T missed that cut, giving Joe and Rick a chance to get their second game on the board. Let's see if Rick gets to or chooses to go for the side pocket or the corner. The corner is the more difficult shot with easier position on the 9, and the side pocket is the easier shot with more difficult position on the 9. Great shot, Rick. Joe taking his time with this shot, making sure not to miss. And he sinks it. Nice shot, Joe. It is now 4-2. Nick and T still in the lead. Rick and Joe trying to catch up. For anyone just joining us, this is a Scotch doubles match with Rick and Joe versus Nick and T for a race to 7. Winner of this match gets slightly more street cred than the other. Joe sends that 1 ball onto the other side, trying to leave the cue ball behind the 2 and the 6. Did not quite work out. Oh, Nick gets lucky, banking the 1 ball 2 rails to then cut the 2 ball in to the far left corner. T's left with a difficult shot on the 1, but at least they're still shooting. That was a great cut by T into the side pocket. I didn't even think that would be attempted. Unfortunately, he does scratch in the right corner. Let's see if Rick is going to set up for the 4-9 combo or just attempt to run this straight out. Looks like he was trying to set up for the 4 into the side pocket or the right corner, but I believe the 4-9 would have been much easier to get to. Nick is left with an open shot on the 4 corner. He is on the rail, and it is kind of a difficult shot, though. Let's see if he's able to pull this one off. Not quite. Kind of an awkward spot for the 4 to roll to at this angle. If T is able to pocket the 4 ball here, he should naturally be able to fall onto the 5, and Nick and T should be able to run out from here. T misses the cut once again. He does get lucky with the cue ball roll, though. Joe is left with a kick shot. And he misses it. That's what happens when the 4 ball or when any object ball is a little deep into the pocket. You actually have a lot less to shoot at than you may think. Nick gets ball in hand and easily sets up for the 5. Be careful not to bump into the 9 too much here, T. He does, and Nick gets a little tougher of an angle than he probably would have wanted here. Nick really showed up to play. Nice shot. Perfect angle to get back over to the left for the 9. This should make a 5-2. Nick and T leading Rick and Joe. Nick to break once again. Not quite. And Rick and Joe are left with a good shot on the 1. The only problem balls I really see are the 5 and the 6, but that should be able to combo straight in. Rick surprisingly misses the 1 into the corner, leaving T with a pretty easy shot. I guess the trick here is to just draw back for that 2 corner, which T does no problem. The 4 ball is a little awkward here because Nick needs to shoot over it a little, but should be no problem for him. Very nice. That's really the first time in this entire match Nick kind of misjudged the power on the bounce of the cue ball. We may see a safety here out of Joe. Looks like Nick's going for the side pocket here. Just kidding. Nice try with a 3 into the corner. Looks like he was kind of going for the two-way shot with the 9 and the 8 as blockers if he were to miss. The cue ball does land perfectly in between the two for him to see the 3. Rick misses once again. Nice shot by T. Nick is going to have to come down and back up the table to set up for the 5, though. Let's see which direction he chooses. Very nice. Close call with the scratch, but he was able to make it. Now T's left on the rail, so setting up for the 6 here is pretty tricky. He can only go forward here. That's as good as you could ask for. Nice shot, T. And making position for the 7 here just needs a little bit of maybe top left spin. Very lightly, though. And that is the issue with using topspin or even left spin for a cut like that. In this scenario, it threw the object ball more towards the left. As a result, Joe and Rick should be able to run the rest of this rack out. A little short on that setup, but Joe should be able to go down and back up the table for the 9. Instead, he decides to slow roll the 8, nearly missing it, but it does drop, and Rick is left with a pretty straight-in shot for the 9. Which he sinks no problem. It is now 5-3. Nick and T still leading Rick and Joe. I will be back with the commentary shortly. All right, I'm back. T's got a thin cut on the 1. The 7 ball is partially blocking the 1, but Rick should be able to at least see a small amount of it, maybe with very light left messe. Seems like he was more just trying to make sure Joe was able to see the 2 ball fully on rather than make position for it. Joe misses the thin cut on the 2, and Nick comes to the table with a nice setup. He should be able to stun to the right, or either just, or even just hold position for the 4 right here, which he misses. And Rick misses the thin cut as well on the 2. T and Nick getting a second chance. Nice angle on the 4 just to have that cue ball go down the rail and come back up for the 5. Good angle on the 5 for the cue ball just to pass through the 6 and the 9 to just shoot the 6 into the same corner as the 5. Little misjudge the power for T's last shot. No problem by Nick with decent position on the 7. A little bit of a sharp cut, but that's the best you can expect after that previous shot. Nice cut by T. Nick should have no problem going down and back up the table for the 9. A little risky with that to choose to go that way with the cue ball, but should be no problem for T. And he misses it, and that will make it 5-4. Nick and T still in the lead, but a far stretch from the original 4-0 lead I believe they had.
Sorry, with Tammy not being here, do you know what's going on with table time?
Whatever people normally pay.
Do we just give it to you guys then? I didn't know how that whole thing worked out. Because Tammy used to collect table time for all the APA teams for France, so.
Has Tammy been absent before? What is it?
She normally designates somebody, but no one's.
Normally what?
She normally designates somebody.
Doesn't or does?
She designates somebody to do it.
Who is it?
I don't know. Because this week the person said that she didn't know nothing about it. I can call Tammy and ask her. Or
Please.
we can just. Okay. I just didn't know if you guys talked or whatever.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Thank you. Back with the commentary. Nick should be able to just squeeze that cue ball through. And he makes the 1. Wow. Excellent shot by Nick. With pretty good position on the 2. T may be able to bring that cue ball back around for the 3 to combo the 8 in or the other left corner. A little too hard. I believe Nick is hooked here. Very close. Nice try by Nick, but Joe is left with a pretty easy shot on 3, but it looks like he is going to have to combo that 8 ball in though. Rick and Joe kind of going over what the best play here is.
I was like, how are you gonna have time?
There you go. I left it hard for you.